Best players in the world, I say Mike and I say Kobe.
LeBron's after that for you? Another one of the all-time greats, Kobe Bryant, in your draft class, and he became, in his words, obsessed with you. He said early in your rookie years, you had a game where you scored 35, and he scored 2 points in 5 minutes the same night. Didn't feel good about that. In fact, he said, quote, "When I checked into my hotel room later that night and saw the 35, he said, I lost it. I flipped the table, threw the chairs, broke the TV. There's more. He said, I obsessively read every article and book I could find about AI, watched every game he had played going back to high school. He said he studied shark attack videos to think about angles that he could approach you at because you move so fast, and he thought that might help you." I mean, when you hear that, he broke a TV in his hotel room because he saw you had a good game and he didn't.
I don't know, I just look at that as, yeah, that's Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, but he said you were the one. He didn't say I was obsessed with everyone in the league.
But
he didn't say I watched everyone else's game back till high school. He said it was you.
With Kobe, he was so different to where it was like, Phil, I want the assignment. You know what I mean? Take Fisher off him, I want the assignment. I've never seen nobody as competitive like him, but Mike, that's it. Like when people talk about, your favorite players or the best players in the world, I say Mike and I say Kobe. You know what I mean? And then everybody else.
LeBron's
definitely.
Okay.
Definitely after that.
Was y'all at the All-Star game where they honored us with the top 75?
No.
Okay. Just me being
This is great.
Just me being there, like this the greatest feeling that I had when I was there in the room. When you got the older legendary guys, they want to meet you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they want to meet you. And then you talking about, it's an honor and this, that, and the third to meet you, and they saying the same thing to you, man. I always wanted to meet you, and and that it was flattering. Yes, it was. To be in a room where you were the best, the cream of the crop, and they giving you your props. But I remember, man, and I'll never forget it. He showed up to the joint. And I just remember the reaction from everybody else. All the other, 74. You know what I mean? All the other 74. And I remember the reaction from them. You know what I mean? Like, I was looking at it like, yo, this man is the man for real. I hear all the comparisons and all that. You know what I mean? And I have to be biased. I have to be, because he made me want to be me.
Yeah.
But then I get a chance to, when you want to debate about it, I get to talk about his accolades. I get to talk about what he's done, like and be confident in my feelings. You know what I mean? And not to get into it, but I love LeBron as a basketball player, as everything that he did for basketball. I mean, the man he is off the basketball court, all the things that he accomplished.
We all do. If you don't, you a hater.
You know what I mean? He's it. You know what I mean? And they always putting them together. Like, why it can't be like LeBron is on Mount Rushmore.
Facts.
That's enough.
You know what I mean? Like, by saying that Mike is better than him.
Yeah, it's not no disrespect, because you're better than who I am and was as a basketball player. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, for me, just Kobe was just a certified maniac killer. Hey. You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about serial killer. You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about, want to eat your heart. That's who he was every night. I'm taking everything personal every night. You know what I mean? And then his work ethic and everything about him, man, like as a basketball player, he was just, he's the real, him and Mike are the real definitions of killer.
Okay, let me ask you a question, because this is something I say a lot. And since we here and we talking about this, like I say, it's no disrespect. My opinion. Mike and Kobe, they up at the top in some other little separate room. And they still, like, all of the greatest and all of that is still amongst them, but they get to go sidebar over here and talk about something else that don't nobody else know. Do you agree with me on that? Do you agree with me on that? Like, I'm just the way and I'm not talking about, like, everybody got their stats and everything, right? But we all know, as real hoopers that lined it up at the highest level when we went against them people, we know the difference of how people were revered and talked about and responded to when they show up and they are who they are. And in my opinion, I didn't play against all three of them. I done scored on all three of them. They done scored on me.
Yeah.
And it ain't them two. Kobe and Mike is something completely, totally fucking different, bro. I promise. And everybody, like most people that I done had this conversation with, they all agree. If they didn't play the same thing, they didn't play against all three, and they seen all three, and they know Kobe and Mike was different.
And one thing I know, and one thing people gotta know, and one thing I don't respect when it come to people that get upset about the debate.
Yeah.
That's your opinion.
It's opinion.
I mean, man, you're a fan. I mean, if you're a fan of this person, man, and can't nobody tell you that anybody else is better than them, you stick with that. You hold that close and near to your heart. That's how you feel about that player, man. It's nothing wrong with you saying LeBron is the best. It's nothing wrong with you saying Steph is the best that ever played. It's nothing wrong with you, that's your opinion. That's how you feel.
You gotta respect
there's not a right or wrong.
Yeah, you gotta respect.
If you that type of fan, you gotta respect it. People call me the GOAT.
Yeah, and you are to some people. You are one of the GOATs, though.
To some people,
yeah.
People make an argument for me all the time and say, "What if you was 6'6"?"
It's curtains.
You know what I mean? Like
Problem.
people say that. I'm never gonna say nobody is better than Michael Jordan. I will never say that. But people say all kinds of crazy things. Somebody told me before Michael Jackson couldn't sing. Like, what? And then right then I was like, oh, okay, people tripping. I done heard it all now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now I'm prepared for what anybody say. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I know people just say the craziest shit. Like a person actually told me Michael Jackson couldn't sing. Like, come on, man.
LeBron is great, first of all. The best in the game right now. Hands down. But when they talk about comparing him to Mike, I don't understand how they don't have the debate when it comes to Kobe. Like, I don't get it.
They hate on Kobe.
What you forgot or something? What they forgot?
That's what I'm saying. I
really think they forgot. They had us the Mamba, man.
Thank you. He forgot too.
Kobe's a GOAT.
This man was a certified serial killer, man.
I'm a killer.
He said serial killer.
Merlin Manson, man. I'm talking about certified killer, dog. Every single night.
I gotta remember
I've never seen nobody kill like 23 and 24.
23 and
24.
And 8. You know what that is?
Hey, you said 24.
The All-Star game where they honored us with the top 75?
No.
This the greatest feeling that I had when I was there. When you got the older legendary guys, they want to meet you. You talking about the honor and this, that, and the third to meet you, and they saying the same thing to you. It was flattering. Yes, it was. To be in a room where you with the best, cream of the crop, and they giving you your props. But I remember, man, and I'll never forget it. He showed up, and I just remember the reaction from everybody else. All the other 74, and I remember the reaction from them. I was looking at it like, yo, this man is the man. I have to be biased because he made me want to be me.
I have to thank this man because without his vision, I promise you, there wouldn't be no Hall of Fame Allen Iverson standing at this podium if it wasn't for this guy. He gave me the vision, man. And, you want to be fast like Isaiah, and you want to shoot like Bird, rebound like Barkley, pass like Magic,
be dominant like Shaq. But man, I wanted to be like Mike. You know what I mean? I remember the first time I played against him. And I walked out on the court and I looked at him, and for the first time in my life, a human being didn't look real to me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if y'all watch the Chappelle show, but he talked about a certain incident where he seen somebody seen Rick James. And like, I literally seen his aura. Like it looked like he was glowing. And I'm sitting there and I'm I remember just hating the Knicks so much, and the bad boys for beating them up the way they did. I used to watch him and sit on my mom's dresser, and she used to tell me, boy, if you don't get back from that TV before you go blind, you better. Like, I wanted to be that close to him just watching him. Man.
How did you react, or what did you think when Michael Jordan referred to you as a little bitch? Or first time he saw you, didn't he use that expression?
I don't think that was the first time he saw me. We was at the All-Star game the year that had to be my rookie year. It was the year that they gave out, they did the top 50 guys. Yeah. And I think I was coming off the court from something, and I saw him, and they were getting ready to go on because he had his jacket on, and he just grabbed me. There's a photo out there with him having me like in a headlock, and he was just like, you know, what's up, you little but no, there was no disrespect in it. And then I didn't take it that way anyway. I was just happy for him just saying anything to me.
But when you see yourself cross over Mike twice, like, it's pretty impressive. Like, what do you think?
I mean, it was against, you know, it was against Black Jesus. And I always told my friends growing up, you know, that if I ever got an opportunity to try my move on the best that ever played the game, that I would. And, you know, it was just a moment. It just happened. And, you know, I backed them up and I did it. And I really didn't know the significance of it when it first happened, because I was just into the game, just playing the game. But then in the aftermath of everything, seeing it all on ESPN and, you know, all on the news and everybody talk about it, I was like, oh, yeah, you know, I really did something. But, you know, thinking back on it, I had got guys way worse than that, but it was just the fact that it was him. You know what I mean? And the crazy part about it is he still almost blocked it.
I know. That's
the testament of how tough he was and how great he was.
But he didn't say anything to you, did he, after you did it?
No. He didn't say nothing to me until years later. I went to, because I live in Charlotte, so I went to a Hornets game. And, you know, me and him were, I guess it was an area in the back where, you know, he chilled at halftime. And he had me back there and we were just talking. And I just kept telling him how much I loved him and how much he meant to my life and my career. And, you know, telling him I wouldn't have had that vision of playing basketball if it wasn't for him. And he was like, you don't love me that much. You wouldn't have crossed me like that. And we laughed about it. But what's crazy with him is I get around him. I've been around him so many times, you know, since the first time I met him. And I still get like nervous. I still, you know, just fidgety around him all the time, you know, because I love him so much. And, you know, he's still like, when I see him, you know, he don't look real. He's like he got some type of a glow about him or something, an aura. You know what I mean? He just don't seem, he was the only person in my life that I've ever met, and he don't look human to me.
But there has to be these younger players that look up to you the way you looked up to Jordan.
That's one of the greatest feelings in the world, you know, especially with me being here with my All-American game, you know, with my classic. And, you know, the way they look at me, the way I have their attention when I'm talking. And it's just, it makes me feel like, okay, this how you was, you know, or this how you are with him. And it's just a great feeling to see that, you know, guys grew up off of me and, you know, love me the way I love him. You know, it's just.
So everybody knows Allen Iverson is one of the most respected NBA players of all time. Many people say he's the realest of all time. When he speaks, you know it's from the heart. He played from the heart. Everything you get from Allen Iverson is from the heart. So he's somebody who played against Michael Jordan. He's somebody who played against LeBron James. Saw them both at their best. And he was around for all of that. One of the top 75 players, former MVP. So if he's telling you that Jordan is the GOAT, you better listen. If he's telling you that Kobe, all right, is a 1B, you better listen. Okay, if he's telling you that LeBron is a little bit lower down the ladder, you better listen, because he has first-hand knowledge of the situation. Right? This is not somebody like a Rashad McCants, okay, or a Gilbert Arenas who doesn't know anything about winning. Okay, this is Allen Iverson. Okay, somebody who was able to drag a team. I don't want to say scrubs, but drag a team with no firepower at all aside from him. Scoring 50, scoring 40, giving his all every game through injury. And many times he'd be the smallest guy even on the floor, but yet the best, right? Faced Kobe and Shaq. Beat them the first game of the NBA Finals, 2001. All right, so this is somebody who knows what it takes to win. This is somebody who knows, you know, what it takes to be successful in the NBA, and who knows and stuff about mental toughness. Okay, knows about that Mamba mentality, because he had it as well. Back in the day, the stars, they were like this. This is why, right, he knows about, because it takes one to know one. Right, so Iverson knows who the GOAT is because he had that in him as well. And that's what was able to take him, you know, all the way to the finals. Right? All right, he didn't have the opportunity like some players today who just jump ship to play with superstars. No. You know, he chilled in Philadelphia. Many years they didn't have enough, but he made it enough. Okay, just through his stardom. And this is what we need to get back to. Okay, because you have a player like this, showed a lot of loyalty and just willed himself to the NBA Finals. So this, we respect this even more than somebody who's jumping ship every minute. Okay, so I say that all to say that if Iverson, somebody, you know, of this character, somebody of this nature, okay, a guy that we haven't seen even since, you know, he stepped off the court, you know, is telling you who the GOAT is, you better believe him. So that's about it. So until next time.